So I'm going to put that information up right now so you can have that link to my gift. There you go. Okay, so the link is up, and make sure you go there and download your free gift. Now, before I bring up Rita, my guest speaker for today, let me read you her bio. Rita Thomas is an entrepreneur, photographer, automation specialist, speaker, and Air Force veteran who is committed to showing entrepreneurs how to make the most of all their assets. Her skill and passion for showing others how to automate their business for more success and peace of mind was born of her own need to streamline her business. Like many entrepreneurs, Rita started her first business, professional photography, while still working a full time job, holding on to the dream of being full time in her own business. That dream felt elusive at times until Rita discovered how to use automation to increase her part time revenue to the point where it replaced her full time income. Rita now shares the same systems that saved her sanity and allowed her dream to come true with other entrepreneurs through training and automation systems. Rita lives in Knoxville, Tennessee, and still enjoys serving professionals, families, and individuals with her photographer, photography services. She is the proud mother of two grown children and Uma to four grandchildren. And on that note, let me bring Rita up. Hi, Rita, and welcome to the show.
Hi, Deborah. Thanks for having me.
And she
Brought my
is
magic
so,
wand today.
yeah, she has her magic wand, she has her crown, and we are
Lights up.
looking forward to what you have to tell us today about funnels, Rita.
Well, thank you so much for having me. And it's an honor to be in this spectacular speakers lounge. I'm just thrilled to be talking to your audience, and I feel like we just want to dive right in. So when we're starting out as speakers, a lot of times we speak for free, or sometimes we even have to pay to speak. And who in the audience, let me know in the chat if you feel like you want to be booked solid. You want to be so in demand that you get to choose who you work for, where you speak, when you speak, and how much you get paid, right? So instead of you speaking for free or paying someone else to be on their stage, they're wanting you so badly that they're making any concession that they can and wanting to pay you to speak. Can I get an amen on that, right? Let me know in the chat. Yes, for sure. I want to get paid to speak. And so how can you do that, right? You're already so busy trying to find the stages, find the hosts that want you. So they have the right audience, you have the right message. So it's a good blend, right? And so that's a busy job right there, just finding the stages that you're going to speak on. And then the key is you don't know that they have a need right then and there. They may be booked up for several months. You may be a good fit. Their audience may be a great fit for you, and they would like to have you, but they don't have any openings right now. And so what do you need to do? You need to stay top of mind with that host so that when an opening occurs, and sometimes it'll occur the day before or even a few hours before, and they'll look to who's on top on their mind, who could fill in for this speaker that just canceled on me. And so you want to be top of mind with them. So you want to stay on their radar and not be pushy or annoying, right? So you want to stay right top of mind for them, but you don't want to go to that side, that dark side where they're annoyed by you and they're not going to call you, right? So I know that feels like a fine line that we're walking. And so here's why speakers need a funnel. So it's going to help you, first of all, find those hosts. And that's going to take that part of that off your plate. It's going to not just find them, it's going to attract them to you. They're going to raise their hand and say, yes, I'm interested in what you offer, because you are going to have that free lead magnet, what Deborah just talked about, a PDF or an ebook, and a lot of times a little sizzle reel, and something that's going to make them say, oh yeah, for sure, I want her on my show. She's a good fit for my audience. Or he's a good fit for my audience, right? So you're going to attract them, pull them into your world with that free offer. That's what the top of the funnel is. All the hosts that you meet in all of your networking and all of your other appearances, they all come into the top of your funnel because they could be your ideal client. And in this case, your ideal client, you're not looking for a sale as much as you're looking for the booking. You want them to book you on their show. So the funnel I'm talking about today is one that's going to end in the reward at the end for you is a booking. So you're going to attract them, pull them into your world, and they're going to raise their hand and say, yes, I want more information on this speaker. They're going to give you their name and email. So you're not pounding on their door, right? Trying to get their attention and keep waving and honking your horn and trying to get them to pay attention to you. You've put out a free offer that they love. And so they've raised their hand and said, I want more information about you. So as soon as that happens, they're in your funnel. Then you start engaging with them and you stay in touch with them. And as you do that, then they are maybe taking another offer from you, something else that you may say, look, I just spoke here. Here are the highlights of this presentation that I spoke at. And if they watch that video, your funnel will let you know, hey, this person clicked on that link and watched that video. So then you're going to know that they're very interested in you. And as it comes down the funnel, then they get closer and closer to booking you for a speaker spot.
And Rita, I just want to say one thing while you're talking. When you were talking about the top of the funnel, where you offer something for free to get people into your funnel, I just wrote down who you want to attract as a speaker. Is you definitely want to attract meeting planners and anyone who can bring you in to speak. You just don't want to be, giving out freebies to attract anyone into your your network. You want to attract the right people into your network. And I heard you say something about staying on top of mind. Well, that's definitely the way to stay on top of mind, is bring them into your funnel, sending them things, very useful things, not just anything, but useful things, that they find helpful, that know, like, and trust factor, where they get to know you, like you, and like you said, and then when something does come available, you're top of mind. They're going to think of you first.
That's right. And another thing that you could send them during that time, during that funnel, as they're learning more about you, is a testimonial from another host or another event planner that said, oh, she was fantastic. My audience is already asking to have her back again. A testimonial like that, that's going to go a long way. You're going to move from the possibly not file to maybe the possibly yes file or the yes file. And so they'll just be waiting for a chance to book you. And so, yeah, you're giving them, and you're not being annoying, that's for sure. So how you want to do this is, there's a 2x2 method that I like to offer, that I like to explain and show. So you want to have 2 lead magnets, because most speakers that I know of can speak on 2 major stages or situations. So if you're looking for people who are booking multi-day events and you're going to be a keynote, that could be a different free offer versus someone who has a podcast or a summit or something of that nature, you would offer them a different free lead magnet. So you're pulling into different kinds of, or you could have one for meeting planners and one for podcast hosts. You can have more than one free offer. And a lot of people, when I talk to them about their funnel, they say, well, my free offer, and they act like they can just only have one. But you can have a free offer for every different thing that you, either every different ideal client that you're looking for, or every different kind of service that you provide. So you can have more than one free offer. So I suggest you have two. And so that's going to attract them and pull them into your world. And so therefore, you know, the people on your list want your information because they asked for it. So who loves that, right? Let's say, hey, in the chat, right? They asked for your information. So you're pulling them in instead of you feeling like you have to chase them down. And then you want to have two sequences, which could be called, this is all part of one funnel, a sequence or a campaign, which is a series of things that happen in order. And so it's a series of emails or text messages that remind the person that you're there and that you have something great for their audience. And the other sequence that I love to use, I use it every day in my business. It's a pretty small, it's one of those small and mighty sequence. So when you have a list of people, and we're going to talk here in a minute about your follow-up. So you got a list of people that you need to call and follow up with. And so you can get, it's so easy to get distracted. Once you call somebody, then you have to write a note. Okay, I left them a voicemail, call them again on Tuesday, add them to the call on Tuesday list. And so you got these pieces of paper, or you have a CRM, you're trying to put all that information in there. This sequence that I wrote that automates part of my follow-up is, as soon as I leave someone a voicemail message, I tag them in my system, just voicemail, and that does two things. It right away sends them a text or an email that says, hi, I just called and left you a voicemail. It's nothing urgent. I'll call you again in a couple days. That's it. That's all. And so they know that you called them. They know you left a voicemail so they can listen to it. And they are expecting you to call again in a couple days. And so the other thing it does is it sends me a reminder in 2 days. It'll pop up on my to-do list to call that person and all the people that I left voicemails for. And so it eliminates that whole middle part where you're making lists and you could get distracted. And then I'll tell you, when I have a little list on a sticky note and there's a bunch of people to call, it kind of gives me anxiety. But when I see it in my to-do list on my computer in my CRM, it doesn't give me any anxiety because it says, call Bob Smith. This is why, because you called him and left a voicemail 2 days ago. And oh, by the way, here's his phone number and here's his email in case you need it. So I don't have to go looking for the information to call each of these people. The reminder on my computer just pops right up with everything I need. And as soon as I call that person, I can move right to the next person on my to-do list and right to the next person. So I can knock out my phone calls pretty easily. And it didn't add any more anxiety or work for me on my plate to track all of that. The computer tracks it. My CRM tracks it for me. So you're going to have two lead magnets that are going to pull the people in. You're going to have two sequences that keep you top of mind. One does, and the other one helps you keep track of all your left messages so you can call those people back very effectively. And then there's a 2x2 follow-up system that I live by and I really love. Speakers have really enjoyed getting to know this system. So each day of the week, you just want to do two things. If you can do two things each day of the week, then it doesn't feel so overwhelming to just keep track of all these possible stages that you could get on. And so the two things that you're going to do each day of the week are going to be in one of these three categories: contacts, content, and clients, right? So 2 days of the week, and you can pick which two. My example is on Tuesday and Friday, making connection with new contacts. So let's say on Tuesday, you call 2 new contacts, and the purpose would be to either speak for them or form a joint venture with someone or be on a podcast. So it would be a stage or a joint venture or a podcast. And then on Friday, you're going to follow up with 2 people about speaking or a joint venture or a podcast. It doesn't have to be the same 2 people. It can be someone from last week that you reached out to and you couldn't get to talk to. And so this week on Friday, those are the 2 people that you're going to reach out to. Okay. So that's the context. 2 days a week, you're going to reach out to 2 people. So on mine, it's Tuesday, call 2 new people, and Friday, follow up with 2 people. So then in the second, so we got context, we got content. In this one, on 2 days a week, I'm going to post content in 2 places. All right. So on Monday and Wednesday, I post content in 2 places on Monday, and I post content in 2 places on Wednesday. To me, that just feels so much better than trying to feel like I got to post every day and I don't know what to post or where to post. But this plan says you post 2 things on Monday, you post 2 things on Wednesday, then again on Monday and Wednesday. So you're being consistent. So the algorithms like that and the audience likes that. And you don't have to feel like you're have to constantly post everywhere. So that should feel better. And the third thing, so we had contacts and content, and now we have clients. So on Tuesday and Thursday, you're going to have 2 connection conversations. And I really like calling these connection conversations more than sales conversations. These are conversations where you're getting to know someone, they're getting to know you. It entirely could end up in a sale, which in this example is going to be you getting booked. Okay. It doesn't have to have money exchanged, but what you want is to be booked on their stage. So we have those 3 areas: context, content, and clients. And we have 2 activities being done each day of the week. And then on Friday, you just plan next week's content that you're going to post on those 2 places 2 days a week. So that one extra thing is on Friday. You look forward to the next week and you plan your 2 posts for Monday and your 2 posts for Wednesday. So this 2x2 system was introduced to me by Nancy Matthews at Women's Prosperity Network. So this is her system. I learned it, I use it, and I really thought that your audience would enjoy having that encapsulated, manageable system. And if you do it consistently, you're going to have enough bookings that you get to choose who, you get to choose when, and you get to choose where.
Oh, I loved it, Rita. I didn't want to come in. I didn't know if you were finished talking or not. Excuse me, I don't know why my voice keeps leaving me today. But, I was listening to what you were talking about. And when you were talking about following up, so many people fail at following up because they think that they follow up with someone one time and then they might follow up the second time. And then after that, they just give up. You have to consistently follow up with someone if you really want to get booked on stage to speak. Because sometimes if you send someone emails, I found, that when I work for speakers and I'm posting information out there to meeting planners or whomever is responsible for bringing in a speaker, they never received my email. It went to spam or, and then, like I said, you don't know. You just don't know if they're receiving the information that you put out to them. So you have to just constantly, and I don't say follow up until 12 follow-ups, and I'm saying, but at least my number is 5. I'll follow up 5 times before I decide, okay, well, maybe it's time for me to move on. But you have to be consistent with your follow-up system.
Yeah, you do. And that's one that the 2 sequences, one of them is going to touch them. And you know what? 5 is just, when you hit 5, with most people, they're just barely getting to pay attention to you.
Barely,
So that's
exactly.
when you really need to stay on it longer. So
Okay.
they're saying generally 7 to 14 touches. Now, a touch is not just an email. A
Mhm.
touch can be them seeing you on social media, talking to you on the phone. It can be a text or an email. It can be them looking at your website. There are a lot of things that count as a touch, but it
Mhm.
takes a lot of touches because look at our world. We're just constantly bombarded with stimuli all the time. And so we have to filter it out sometimes. So a lot of your touches are being filtered out by their brain just because they have to concentrate on something else.
Exactly, exactly. And I like the fact that you said that you have a CRM to keep you on track. That's important because like there's so much that you need to do and you just can't keep it all up in here even though you think you can. You can't. You just cannot. You need to have a system like you said where I think you said Tuesdays and Thursdays was the day that you put out information. Is
Right.
that what you said? Yeah.
Monday and Wednesday, I post in 2 places each day. 2 days a
Mhm.
week, you post in 2 places.
Okay.
And then on Friday, you plan what you're going to post the next week.
Okay. I love that system. I love it because if you have a system that keeps you on track and it keeps you accountable, because my biggest problem is I was like you and I don't do it anymore. I thought that I had to post on social media every single day. And it gets tiresome, trying to come up with content. What should I post today? And it's overwhelming. I like the system that you're using. That makes way more sense, to me than
It
yeah.
is a huge relief to know that you can be effective with this amount of effort. And
Mhm.
that's so great because an expert came up with it and taught it to me. And now I'm sharing it because it's just been a game changer and a huge relief to know that this can work, but the consistency is the most important part.
Exactly. That is so true. Well, I'm going to ask, does anyone have any questions for Rita? And I'm looking in the chat. Oh, and Peg says consistency is critical. Yes, it is, Peg. Very critical. And Daryl Stinson, he says, I have to work on my follow ups for sure. Definitely, Daryl, you have to do a lot of touching someone, just like Rita said. I said 5, but Rita said 7 to 12. So that's a lot of touching. And I'm just going through the comments right here, Rita. And so far, I don't see any more comments in the
So
comments section.
Judy Herman asked the system that I use, and
Oh,
so I use Keep, and I'm a Keep certified partner and an authorized reseller. I highly recommend an integrated system where all the things that you need to do with one person are all in one place. Keep does that, and I am always happy to help people look at it, see if that's going to be the right solution for them.
mhm. Yeah, ma'am. The fortune is definitely in the follow up, Peg. That's for sure. Now, Rita, do you have any other thing that you would like to share with my audience here?
I absolutely do. I'm very excited to let you know that I have a gift certificate for everybody here today and everyone on the replay, and that is a $97 value. So, my community is called the Automation Nation, and we meet twice a month. We do office hours where everybody just brings their questions and we get them all answered. They could be on follow up or how do I write a nurture campaign or any of those things. So we talk about any automation questions that you have twice a month. There's a LinkedIn group that we chat regularly in there, and you can email me questions. Q&A, email, anytime, 24/7, and I'll get back to you as quick as I can.
Sounds wonderful. Well, everyone, I have put Rita's giveaway in the chat. So if you love to copy down her link, it's tinyurl.com/gift. Is it gift
Gift
cert?
cert
I'll let
one
you
month.
say it, Rita.
it's gift cert one mo. So like gift certificate 1 month. So GIFT CERT, the number one, and then the letter MO, all lowercase.
Mhm. Okay.
Oh yeah, someone's on here that's in Automation Nation. Hi, Peg.
Okay, Rita. Well, and on that note, I want to thank you so much for coming on my show today and talking about funnels, which everyone needs to know. And Judy also says thank you so much, Rita. And and thank you everyone for coming and watching the Spectacular Speakers Lounge show today with my guest speaker, Rita Thomas, and Rita informing us all about funnels. So bye for now. And make sure you copy down that URL for her free giveaway. Okay, thank you everyone. Bye.